So generally we take you to wonderful gardens and we show you plants and designs. Well, I am in an absolutely wonderful garden today. I am here with Steve at the Tualatin Valley Water District, which is also a part of the regional
Water Providers Consortium.
And they do stuff a lot with water, don't they? You guys work in tandem.
We do. There's actually more than 20 water providers in the Portland metro area, and this is a great way for us to come together and work on things like water efficiency and emergency preparedness and source planning, things like that.
Well, and the thing that I love about this garden, and it really is a beautiful garden, is it has all the elements of design. It has all of this beautiful pathway and plants. In fact, you know, you even have plant listings of what's in here.
Sure.
But this is such a great concept for gardeners and for putting in gardens because it really shows you things that need water, how to water, the different ways you can water your garden very effectively.
Yeah, demonstrating how to water efficiently. That's our goal, and we hope that we pulled it off here.
Well, so tell me, like right here where we're standing, it looks to me like there's two very specific different types of plantings. So let's talk about why that happens.
Yeah, well, it was part of the architect's concept is to basically use this meandering pathway that we're standing on as you move through the garden. On the west side, you have what we call naturalized non-invasive species for the most part. It's not absolute. And then on the east side, we have more or less a native palette. So you have, you know, because homeowners don't always necessarily want to go with purely native palettes. You know, they want to have things that are of interest, and really that was another concept behind this, was that we want to reflect what homeowners are likely to have in the ground at their property, so we can show them how to take care of it in the best way possible.
So within this one small area of this garden, what would be some of the differences in how one would water these?
Well, for example, in this sort of a open plan, we have what are called multi-stream rotating nozzles, which have a really great uniformity and are a great way to adapt from traditional pop-up sprinklers, as opposed to what we have over on the west side, where we need to cover a larger area and kind of get up above that. We have 12-inch rotor nozzles, which are, again, very common, but you know, a different application for a different type of planting scheme.
Well, and I have to say, this part of the garden, to me, when I walked up and saw it, is breathtaking. It's full and lush. It looks like a ton of water has been spent on it, but that's not the case, is it?
No, not necessarily. I mean, this, and believe it or not, this panel on the on the west is actually considered a turf alternative. It is beautiful and lush and full, but it's also sort of a constant you know, texture to it. Sort of that uniformity of a lawn without the weekly mowing requirement.
Yeah, all the efforts of it.
Obviously, you still have to provide some water and a little bit of fertilizer, but you're not out there every week mowing and disposing and all of that.
But Steve, you also have some actual lawns, not only traditional types of lawns, but some alternatives. Talk to me about that a bit.
We actually have 3 different lawn plantings, and they're also, each of them are alternative lawns. One is a popular seed mix called Fleur de Lawn that's very produced and packaged in our area. It's a mix of yarrow and daisies and clovers that are allowed to really go 2-3 weeks. Require about half the typical mowing regimen that a standard lawn would take, and also about half the water requirement, but we'll grow it into like a wildflower meadow type of a feel. Then we also have what's called Dwarf Companion, which is a more even, lush green feel, but again grows much slower, has a much lower fertilizer requirement and water requirement, but again is a more traditional lawn as far as appearance goes.
So people really, when they can walk through here anytime.
Absolutely, it's open, and that's the intent. We really want folks that are moving through the community to kind of take the time and move through the garden, grab a piece of literature if appropriate, or
you've got a lot of information.
Sure, and just give themselves a self-guided tour. If they find something that they like, they can identify it with the plant list, take that to their nursery, and then put it in their own yard.
And if you're here, they're even welcome to come in and talk to you or someone about specific questions.
I'm generally in the office. Folks are welcome to come in to the front desk, ask for Steve, or just let them know that they have a question about the garden. They'll give me a call, and I'm happy to come out and talk to you about the garden.
And they can even pick up a copy of the water efficient plans for the Willamette Valley.
Absolutely, absolutely. We keep that stocked in our kiosk out here. We have that publication, also the 7 Steps to Water Efficient Landscapes, how to plant and maintain a
Nice.
lawn, and other general tips for indoor and outdoor water efficiency as well.
Well, you know, we love living here in the Pacific Northwest, and we think we have all the water in the world, but it is never unintelligent of us to take some time and really figure out how to use our water wisely. No better place to do that than to come back out here, go through this garden, get some information, and really work in your own gardens to make that happen. It's really a
Absolutely.
pleasure spending time here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.